Well, I don't get on here a lot just because the internet is full of guys that do brake jobs and transmissions and do some engine work. Oh, it's full of will it run? Okay, will it run? My experience on most of that stuff is yeah, probably 98, 99% of the stuff will run. I mean, my luck with that is, you know, I used to do that stuff before they even knew what the hell it was called. Revivals. They didn't know what the hell it was. We just got stuff to run. I mean, that was part of the joy about growing up on a farm. Because we had a lot of stuff. You know what farmers do? They usually don't get rid of stuff. They just take it and park it out in a pasture somewhere. And then you go out there and you do what? Oh, well, Hey, yes, Grandpa, and such. And he's like, yeah, go ahead, the old tractor sitting out there. We'd make them run. Jeeps. I don't know if people realize this, but, after the war, you could apply to get a Jeep. A World War II Jeep. You could apply for it. They give it to you. Yeah. At least that's what I was told. Actually, my grandpa had one. It sat out there in the damn tree line. That's why I asked him about it. I said, yeah, that's World War II. You got a star on it and everything. Oh, yeah. He told me, he says, after the war, he said, you could apply for certain things. He said, give you a damn Jeep. We had so many of them. So, matter of fact, we got it running too. I don't know how long it sat there or anything, but my cousin and I, we tinkered with it and we got it running. And I don't know where it is today exactly. Well, for all I know, it's sitting back in the same spot it was. Or maybe they found a building to put it in a corner somewhere. I don't know. But, see, that's the kind of dilemma. It's like I don't want to just go out there and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. It just, that gets old. When I run into a problem, something kind of unusual, I like to, show that. Because sometimes it keeps somebody from chasing their tail. It was like the filter on the truck. The sock. And that thing was plugged up pretty bad. The thing had run okay and it idled okay, but then when you got into it, it just stumbled and didn't want to really take off. Like it didn't have the power it should have. It's like, and you're checking everything. You know what it's like. And you're checking this, you're checking that, you're checking all this stuff going, man, sounds good. It was right, idling. Just didn't have, so I watched the fuel pressure. I put a fuel pressure, gauge on the Schrader valve and I was watching the fuel pressure, got into it, and it just started flickering and wobbling. It's like, hell, I don't think it got over 25 pounds or something like that. And it just didn't want to. I was like, okay, what's going on? Bad fuel pump? Well, I pulled it apart and I saw that filter was plugged up. Well, the sock, whatever you want to call it. And I replaced just that. I thought, if I had to pull the thing up down again, it's the bolts have already been out and everything should come apart pretty easy. Second time. So I put a different sock on it, put it together, ran good. I was like, well, kind of weird. But I've had that happen to older trucks too. I got a 60. Well, my grandfather bought it brand new. 63 Chevy C20. Kind of an oddball. I mean, I think it's an oddball. It's got 15-inch. Now it's a 3/4 ton. And it's got 15-inch split rims, eight lug bolt patterns, and the ass end has got the long arms that run up probably about not quite to the front of the cab, under the frame there, and run back, and it's got coils on it. Doesn't have leash, it's got coils on the ass end too. Wood floor in it and all that. And I had the same problem with that. It was like, man, what's going on with this? And that, it's easy. You just pull the seat forward, and there's the tank, and there's everything. You just unscrew it. I pulled it out, and I look at it, and it actually had a steel screen on it and everything, and it wouldn't slide off because they soldered the screen onto the tube. So I blew through it, and it was like, man, you saw this crud in there. I was like, well, that's got to come apart. So I heated it up, pulled it off, blew air through it. Man, it had a bunch of crud in it. It probably had at least a teaspoon worth of rust in it. And I put it back together and resoldered it and stuck it in, and sure enough, that was the problem. It ran good after that. So, just some weird things like that I've run across, and other things. Like my spark plug video. Brand new plugs. I probably didn't have 3,000 miles on them. And they're, quote, a good name brand. Platinum or double platinums. I'm like, and two of them wouldn't spark. I mean, nothing. They were just dead. I'm like, wow. And of course, I'm chasing my tail around, going, man, it can't be spark plugs. Can't be. Those are brand new spark plugs. Same thing with the wires and the cap. And of course, you make sure you put the cap, the rotor in, and stuff. And you're like, and you're scratching your head, going, what the hell did I do? No, it was the spark plugs. I pulled them back out. Sure enough, two of them were not fired. Bought all new plugs, and by God, it worked. Runs good. Runs fine. But who would have thunk it, So that's the kind of stuff I like to put out. And I wish I had more time to go to some of these car shows and such. I kind of like doing that. Seeing, what other guys are building and things like that. But if it gets monotonous and it's the same stuff over and over and over, it's like, you don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't even want to be there. And I'm not driving 1,000 miles to go to an auction where they have some cars, that they're auctioning off and this and that. It's like, I don't know. Some may be pretty good and some aren't, and everything in between. So that's my big thing is I don't want to be doing the same things everyone else is doing. So I don't get on here much, and the channel doesn't grow because of it. I mean, I've got an original LS6 Chevelle. You've probably seen the videos of it. It's only got 25,000 miles. Original paint, top, everything. And, I mean, how many videos of that you want to see? I mean, I'm not ripping it apart. I'm not doing anything to it. So, I mean, really, how many videos you want to see of that? I suppose I could take it up front there and do some burnouts with it. That'd be pretty cool. Everybody likes to see burnouts. Yeah, I mean, I've got some cars like that. I've sold a lot of cars like that. A lot of cars like that. I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. Just because, I'm getting older. I've done this stuff, since I was just a little kid. I think the first thing my cousin and I messed with, my grandpa had an old Buick. It was a two-door, like Wildcat, I think it was. And he parked it out there. We got a truck, and he just parked his car out there. So my cousin and I, it had been sitting there for a while. It didn't take much to get it running. Hey, we weren't that old. We were, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 maybe, in that range. We weren't that old. And we kept playing with it, and making it do this, we do burnouts and stuff. They didn't care. I mean, that was the joy of living on a farm out in the middle of nowhere. You could do burnouts and all that stuff. And hell, we knew the county sheriff, and hell, he was a friend, so we'd go baling hay, and he'd be helping bail, He didn't care. I mean, things were different back then. We'd ride our motorcycles on the gravel roads, whatever. He'd just wave at us, and we weren't even wearing helmets, you know. He'd just wave at us and stuff, and keep on going. Today, oh my God, you better wear a helmet because the cop's gonna try to beat knots on your head if you don't pit maneuver while you're on your motorcycle. It's something. I mean, come on, you know. So we used to do a lot of stuff like that. But back to that Wildcat. It was a nice car and stuff, but my cousin and I, it did do a pretty good burnout. We thought, well, it could do better. So we kept cutting stuff off. We cut the roof off. Then we cut the ass end off, you know, like the body. And then we cut the doors. And the only thing it had was the cowl, a windshield, and 2 seats. That was all in. Didn't have a hood on it. Nothing. I mean, had the radiator support, but that was it. When we got done. And boy, I'll tell you what, that thing had just smoked the hell out of the tires. It was a lot of fun then. And then, of course, we had to go find some big old mud tires, you know, that came off a truck, you know, whatever, and we'd put those on it. Then we'd go flying through big mud pits and stuff, and you're just having a blast. You know, it was a lot of fun. You know, yeah, we used to jump stuff, and we had a good time. The good old days, you know. Today you do that stuff, and I don't know, man. Cops see you on the road, he'd be all over you. But yeah, I figured I'd get on here and say, hey, you know, I don't make all the videos in the world because of, you know, the will it runs, revivals, I don't know. I mean, and people, oh, I've never seen the car, I've never done this. Haven't we all bought cars like that? I mean, I know I have. I bought a lot of cars like that. Oh, a buddy of mine's got this Nova, and a buddy of mine's got this Olds, or my buddy's got this, and, you know, he wants only, you know, this, $100 for it. And I was like, well, I'll buy it. You know, they call them up. Yeah, we didn't have cell phones back then. So it was like, oh, hey, I get hold of his buddy and see me the next day or two, and he's like, yeah. He'd sell it to you for a thing. Okay. So we'd get the car trailer and load it up and take it home, and, you know, I never saw it. You know, we just went and got it and tinkered with it, played with it, make it run. You know, stuff like that. And we didn't do no, I shouldn't say we didn't do. We did do stupid stuff. But we didn't do stupid stuff with other people around. You know, I mean, we did stupid stuff with just myself or my cousin and myself, and that was pretty much it. We didn't really do, like, really stupid stuff with other people on the road or this or that because, I mean, it just... We had some morals and values. We didn't want to get anybody else hurt doing things. You know, you had to have respect, and respect for your fellow man, and so on and so forth. So, I always like to hear your stories. I mean that's the stuff that really interests me more than anything. Is this, you know, guys working on a car? I don't care what type of car it is. You know, you got a story behind this? You know, how did you get it? You know, and that's the type of stuff that interests me. You know, especially, you know, if it's got some sentimental value to it. Yeah, a lot of that stuff's pretty. I don't care if it's a car or a motorcycle. I don't care if it's got an engine and it's cool. You know. Oh man, I remember. There's a guy. He was probably about 30, 32. Younger guy, you know. My cousin and I were probably 15, 16 at the time. And he had one of those airboats, you know, you take it out, you know, and you just, you know, over top of everything. And it was interesting. He'd had an old pickup truck. He took the box and everything off, had the seat up for, you know, it was basically just, you know, all stripped down, but had a seat, and the cowl was there, and he put that motor on the back of it. it was just like an airboat. You know, it pushed it around. It was pretty cool. You know, dangerous as hell, but it was cool. So yeah, we used to do a lot of stupid things. Yeah. Oh, I remember, man. We had cars backfire and catch on fire, flames shooting out of everything. Yeah, a lot of fun. And like I said, if you're not having fun doing it, why are you doing it? So yeah, that's really the only reason I got on here is, you know, this is kind of a nothing video, but it kind of explains things too. But if there's things you want to see or something like that, okay. I mean, I'll entertain it. I used to tease my younger brother something terrible. We took a. I'm not going to tell you where he worked or none of that stuff, but yeah, thought he was a pretty smart guy. Okay, we'll leave it at that. It was funny because we were having a picnic. So my one friend and I got a bunch of 50, well, not a bunch. We got like three 55-gallon barrel drums, and we took two of them and we welded it together. And we cut the side open and we put hinges on it. And you could open it and go inside of it. And we took one of them and we cut it and we made a cone. Then we welded the cone to the top of it. And then we made some fins sticking out the sides. So what we did with all these fins, we got all these rocket engines, you know, the solid rocket fuel engines. We got a bunch of those. And we made these little holders on the side that would hold them. And we'd light them, you know, because then you use a battery powered, you know, like thing that would ignite the motors. So we ignited them. And I mean, I don't know, man. We must have had 2 or 3 dozen of these things on there. But you got to remember, this thing's heavy too. It's not going to take off or anything. But it was funnier than hell, man. My buddy and I, we climbed inside of it there at a picnic, and everybody's like, "What the hell are these idiots doing?" You know. So we climb inside this thing, and my buddy gets in there too. And we're going to the moon. We hit this button, all kinds of hell broke loose out there. I don't know what happened. But it was all kinds of noises and stuff, and this thing's shaking, and it's just hell of a thing. And when it got all done, we come out the door, and we're like, "What are you doing on the moon?" You know, all this and that stuff, you know, just being goofy as hell. And so, yeah, we do stupid crap like that, too. So, yeah, we did all kinds of stupid stuff. I can spend hours going over stupid things we did. But, anyways, you know, you guys, I mean, if you did stuff like that today, I don't know, the police would probably get called and you'd probably have to go to see the judge or something. Maybe a shrink, too. I don't know. They probably think you're a lunatic. You know, hell, I don't know. But, yeah, it's fun to do stuff like that, but, man, you're going to have somebody that wants to complain and think you're an idiot and this, that, and the other thing. But you look back on that stuff now and you laugh and you think it's funny. It was funny when we did it, but it's even more funny now. And that's all I'm saying, man. If you're going to do stuff, man, enjoy yourself. Have a good time doing it. You know? Have a blast. Remember that wildcat we cut down? We take that through the mud, and we'd get a hell of a run at it. And there sometimes we quite didn't make her through. But then it was like, well, who's climbing out here and walking there to get a tractor and a chain? We had to do that too. So, just because we had tractors and chains, we could pull it out of the mud, and it was stuck too. So, yeah. folks, y'all take care, and it makes some good memories. Stuff you can just, laugh about later, and laugh at the time, have a good time, and laugh when you're doing it too. I mean, if everybody walks away and no one got hurt, awesome. Okay, that's great. That's a good time. So, you know what I'm saying. You folks, y'all take care now.